to the Tarot Cottage. I'm really happy to have you join me here on my Pick a Card channel. I do pick a card readings on this channel, so if you are into tarot, if you like spirituality, if you just want to hang out, please join us, pull up a chair and get cozy. We're all going to have a little chat, and we're all friends when we gather around this table. So I want to welcome back my beautiful returning subscribers. As always, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for your friendship. I want to welcome anybody new who has subscribed to the channel this month, and also anybody who is just here for a good time, who's just here for the day. Welcome to the Tarot Cottage. Please consider subscribing to the channel if you enjoy the content that you see here. Please be sure to hit your notification bell, your like button as well. It really helps me to bring you guys more content. And if you are here for the very first time, I do offer a giveaway for my subscribers. So be sure to drop your comment below any of my readings this month for a chance to win a free video reading from me. Just drop your comment, hit your notification bell so that I can notify you and get the ball rolling. So for today's Pick a Card topic, we're looking at somebody in no contact from you, and we're asking the question, will you meet again? And if you do, what is going to happen in this meeting? So we do have 3 piles to choose from today. We have pile number 1 here with my dear friend and the blue flower. Pile number 2 with the elixir of life and the red flower. And pile number 3 with the can you hear me and the yellow flower. So whichever pile is feeling that is calling out to you, is you're being drawn to, you can pause the video if you need to for a moment. Whatever is calling your name, that may be the pile for you. There may be a message waiting from Spirit. And my timestamps are listed below. I'm going to jump into pile 1. Again, today's topic is all about the person on your mind. Will the two of you meet again? Will you cross paths? And what will happen? Pile 1. Hi, pile 1, you are drawn to the blue flower. You're also drawn to my dear friend, and this is your reading. Will you ever meet again? This person on your mind that you are in no contact with, that has a piece of your heart. Will you ever meet this person again? And what will happen if you do? The card you were drawn to was the My Dear Friend card, and this particular oracle deck is, there's another card in this deck that has this couple in a very smaller, younger version of themselves. So there could be a lot of nostalgia here. You could have grown up with this person in some way. Maybe you came of age together in some type of way, in school perhaps. And there's a lot of layers, I feel like, to this friendship. I don't think it's just friendship, most likely, between the two of you. Maybe it stayed at friendship. Maybe it was not supposed to stay at friendship. And there's just layers to the complexity of this relationship. Also, a lot of mysteries to unravel too. Like, there's this feeling of firsts and really wanting to explore the firsts in this connection. And she's holding on to his antlers. There's this feeling of stability, of holding on to something because it makes us feel stronger or feel rooted to a time or place as well. So let's take a look here at this connection, the current feelings between the two of you. How does this person feel? Will you ever meet again, and what will happen if you do? So will pile number 1 ever meet their person again? Will they ever cross paths? Oops, in this lifetime. We have the first card being a floor card. We have the 2 of Swords. We also have the Queen of Wands. I almost just heard somebody in my head say, I'm not going to hold my breath. And this is, I don't know that this is related to the outcome of the reading, but I feel like somebody's saying, I'm not going to hold my breath. We have the Page of Cups. We have the Emperor. Will you meet again? And we have the 8 of Wands. Back of the deck, we do have the Knight of Cups, and we have the Moon. I'm going to clarify this as I go forward. So let's clarify the 2 of Swords, please. Will pile number 1 meet their person again? And what will happen if they do? 10 of Wands, the Knight of Swords. I know what they want to see happen if they do meet you again or cross paths with you again. There's this feeling about a lot of fantasy surrounding that moment. It's like we're projecting a lot of our desires into this moment. There's this aspect about looking outside the box, coming from the divine masculine, and this intention, even in the present moment, regarding their feelings towards you of, you know, maybe I felt helpless in the past, or I was ill-equipped in the past. I am no longer ill-equipped. That's what it feels like. It's like I'm not a little child anymore. I'm not a little boy anymore. I'm not a little girl anymore. I've grown up. We have the Devil. Will you meet again, please, Spirit? The Two of Cups. Because there's this feeling about if we meet again, if we cross paths again, I'm going to unload everything that I feel, or I'm going to try to express myself in whatever way I'm allowed to. We have the Six of Pentacles, we have the Two of Swords, and you will be brought to some type of crossroads in this connection, I feel, pile one. We have the King of Pentacles, and we have the beautiful, beautiful Empress here as well, with the King of Cups. This person, if you knew them as a page, if you knew them when they were young, they're no longer a page. They have come into their power. They've come into their confidence. So have you as well. And there is this aspect about coming to a crossroads again in the future of this connection. This could be prohibited. This could be precipitated by, I should say, communication. This could even be sort of a plan where the two of you start chatting again, and then you plan a meeting, or you plan to have a conversation, or you plan to travel to see each other. I feel like there could be a plan involved here between the two of you, and it's like, oh, let's catch up, let's get together. But there's more on the agenda. Spirit says if this happens, there's more on the agenda. This person has the intention, I feel like, of creating solutions. They have an intention of reaching out. I feel like they're just trying to build up the courage. And this may take some time to come in depending on the collective energy that I'm tapping into. It's hard to pinpoint an exact date because I'm dealing with the collective. So this could take a lengthy amount of time to come in, or it could take a short amount of time depending on who I'm talking to or standing in front of. But I do feel like there's going to be momentum in the future. It's not over, Spirit says. And what's interesting is that I feel like what ties you together is the nostalgia, but the version of yourselves that existed in the past is no longer the version that stands in front of you today. It's like if you were dealing with a little boy, there is a man standing in front of you in the future here. And their intention is to express themselves in ways that they didn't feel like they could in the past. It's like, I was young, I was inexperienced, I was ill-equipped, and I've been carrying all of these fantasies, these uncertainties with me. And when I get the opportunity, I'm going to unleash it. I'm going to express how I feel. And they understand the momentum of that moment. It's like they're gearing themselves up to come to that crossroads with you and sort of finally give in to the pressure that they've been feeling to propel the two of you into something more. And that's perhaps why the Knight of Cups is here on the back of deck, right alongside your chosen card, because there's an offering that's coming in with this momentum. There's an offering that's coming in this moment. And the offer is going to look different depending, again, who I'm speaking to. For some, this is an offer of fire, 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 and some, this is a more emotional experience. This is more, it could even start as emotion and then move into more fire. But now it's like they're taking a stand. Where they were passive in the past, in this next moment, they are going to be taking a stand with you. Oops. Will you meet again? And what will happen, please, when we do? Enlightenment. 19. The Forest Temple. All about the full spectrum and offering you the full spectrum of how they feel, peeling back the layers of the truth, and perhaps giving you the opportunity to follow suit. It's no guarantee, and they know that it's no guarantee if they express themselves that you will too. This person is convinced in the present moment that their fire or their want or their attraction to you is deeper than yours. But we all do that to ourselves. We all second guess our own influence on other people. And this person is definitely minimizing how much they perhaps influence you. But in this next meeting, there's more enlightenment. It's like the both of you realize this aha. It's like, oh, I've been feeling this way for years. Oh, well, so have I. Leading from the heart space. But there's a very fiery aspect to this divine masculine. And perhaps emotionally speaking, they like to express themselves very physically as well. And that could happen in this meeting as well. It's like they're finally going to be, I don't want to say aggressive, but they're going to be the leader in that experience or in that communication. Because it's like they don't want to make it go to waste. They know that they'll have a decision to make in the moment, but they're gearing themselves up to make it. We have passages, walking through the passages of your transformation, this beautiful red dress, and the standing stones is like, let's transport back in time. So there'll be a lot of discussions in the beginnings of this reunion about the past and about nostalgia and the things that you've done and the things that you've said to each other and experiences that you shared. It's going to start out light, but it's going to quickly move into something a little bit more fiery here, because there's joy. Bridging the gap back to joy, and our hearts pounding very quickly in our chest. It's like I can feel my heart just pounding quickly in my chest like the hummingbird. So there's something very exciting and joy-filled. I just feel like I'm smiling too. I just feel like it's going to be such a beautiful moment filled with so much potential. And Spirit doesn't want to put too much pressure on it, because you still get to make the decision. The Two of Swords talks about decisions that will have to be made in the moment, because of what they offer you, whether it be communication and enlightenment, or again, that enlightenment through fire. You're going to have a decision to make in that moment about what your participation level is going to be. But this is just Spirit's way of highlighting what to expect on that fateful day. We have here, love is all around you. There's love everywhere all the time. Simply acknowledge it as the truth. And there's going to be a lot of epiphanies perhaps coming in this moment, in this conversation. I feel like it's going to be a conversation that happens in person though. It could happen over the phone for somebody, but I feel like there's going to be an in-person meeting, and it does feel like it's going to be orchestrated or maybe planned ahead of time. And there's going to be this acknowledgement of like, oh, I've always felt this way. You've always had this impression on me. You've always left me with this feeling. We have romance. Lavish the one you love with personal attention and affection. And that's exactly what I feel like is going to happen for you, Pile 1. Lots of attention, lots of passion, perhaps, if that's something that you're interested in. Again, crossroads, you're going to have some choices to make. And the Six of Pentacles says that there's momentum here. We're kind of bringing the karmic loop that is involved in this connection to a bit of a crossroads. The ability to shake things up in this karmic exchange. We have the only thing that is real is love, and shift your focus back to love. The internet will play a role here, I feel like, in the planning of this event. And I feel like you're going to be kind of caught off guard. I feel like you're going to be surprised when you receive this note, or receive this email, or receive this message that pops up out of the blue. So it's very exciting. A yes for you, pile number 1. Positive momentum. Advice in the bowl. The Knight of Cups, something coming forward for you, an offering. And when this person thinks about you, it's very romantic. Like, it's very nostalgic and romantic. It's like someone who's in love with the idea of being in love with you. 5 of Cups and the Fool. So this person holds a lot of regrets, and you may also resonate with the message in the bowl about a lot of regrets about the actions you did not take in this connection, the ways that you didn't see the opportunity sitting right in front of you, and maybe thinking we had a lot more time. So there's a lot of regret, but there's solutions coming in this next meeting. Through vulnerability, through stepping outside of our comfort zone this time around, we have a lot of solutions coming. And potential ascension. In the very least, potential clearance. We have V, F, Z, and O. We do have the little cherries, and I always think about innocence and breaking innocence, like the Page of Wands. We have October being significant, so Libra energy, but also the month of October. When I see the apple, I think about school and education and temptation. We also have here the honeybee, so sweet results that await us through a little bit of a self-sacrifice. Butterfly, and good luck on the side of the Divine Masculine. I just heard get lucky. That's something that perhaps they are hopeful when this meeting happens. We have the wrench in our plans, and we have want. I want. We also have the music notes and Mickey Mouse here with the key. So youth being very much focused and prioritized here, but also maybe even family units in place at this time. So children being a factor. Pile number 1, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates with you. If it does, drop your comment below for a chance to win a reading with me. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personal reading if you feel called to. If you do drop a comment below for the personal reading for the giveaway, be sure to hit your notification bell so that if I notify you, or if you're chosen the winner, I can notify you and get the ball rolling, because sometimes I have a problem getting my winners to reach out to me. So I want to be able to give them away, but I need to get the ball rolling first. And I do want to make a note that I will never DM you for a personal reading. I will never solicit in that way. If I do comment on your, if I do choose you as the reading winner, I will make it very clear that you are the winner. There's a congratulations involved, and I give you very clear instructions on how to reach out to me via one of my links below. So just be careful, don't get scammed. But I hope that you have a beautiful day, and I hope that you come back here for a visit at the Tarot Cottage. Hello, pile number 2. You are drawn to the red flower. You're also drawn to the elixir of life, and this is your reading. Will you meet again? And if you do, what is going to happen? The elixir of life, it's number 15, and she's stopping to smell the roses. There's something very alluring about her. You know, she's cloaked in red. She's mysterious. There's just something tempting about her as well. 15 can relate to attachment, to Capricorn energy. There's something very physically beautiful, I feel like, about you. Very earth energy. It's like I'm feeling Virgo vibes. I'm feeling earth energy vibes coming from you. So you could be an earth sign. You don't have to be, but they're just highlighting the temptation that they're going to feel perhaps in that moment. Maybe a little bit of insecurity because they don't feel like they match the frequency of what they're looking at. So there's empowerment involved here. So let's take a look and see. Pile number 2. Will they cross paths again? Will they meet again? What will happen in this connection in the future? We have the moon, Scorpio. Oops. And an explosion on the floor, which I won't keep. We do have the 2 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles showing itself, but we will put them back and see if they come back out. Ace of Pentacles. We have the Tower. We have the 9 of Cups. We also have here the 5 of Pentacles in the reversal. Back of the deck, we have the Death energy, and we have the 2 of Wands. So I'm going to clarify this as I go forward. Clarifying the moon, please. Will they meet again? What will happen if pile 2 meets their person again? We have the Ace of Swords. We have the 8 of Swords. We have the Ace of Cups. The 10 of Cups. And we have the 9 of Pentacles. Back of the deck is the Wheel of Fortune. And we have the King of Swords. Okay, so pile number 2, will you meet again? I believe that your paths are definitely going to cross again for sure. And I feel like it happens in a very interesting way for you, actually, because it doesn't feel planned. In this case, it feels like it happens suddenly out of the blue, very surprising. I will say almost shocking in a sense for someone. It's like your heart will leap up into your throat. You will feel completely taken off guard, or this person will be taken off guard by the suddenness of seeing you. Because I got this message about being in a different city or starting a new job. It's like being somewhere different where you wouldn't expect to see this person or run into this person. And that's where you're going to cross paths. That's where you're going to meet again. There is a hesitation that I'm feeling in this meeting, however. It gives us the opportunity to have this new emotional initiation, like it gives us a chance, but there's something very enlightening about the meeting. There's something, it's like, and I feel like there could be a conversation that is had between the 2 of you. I feel like the 2 of you are caught off guard, and it's almost like you're forced into a conversation. Like maybe if you saw each other from afar, you would be able to hold back. Because we do have this aspect of kind of feeling stuck within the opportunity, but I do feel like there's going to be conversation. It may not be in an intimate setting. There may be other people around, or it's just in a busy setting or something. There is even a message about somebody being at work or somebody being in the work realm while this happens. It's like somebody has a new job, somebody has a new career, somebody has a new home in a new city, and boom, we run into this person and we have this conversation. It's very enlightening, this conversation. And I will say, I feel like the Divine Feminine is going to have the upper hand when it comes to like the position in life and things going well for you. Like there's just this feeling about being a little bit intimidated by where you're at in life right now, whether it be your home, your family, your career. It's like things are going well for you. You look good in this moment. So that's a positive thing too, is that you're looking really good. This person's really tempted by you, but there's also something that makes them feel a little bit insecure too. You know, it enlightens them to where you are in life and maybe even your availability, because there's something about you standing in your power, and honestly, it's almost like they're looking up to your position, not in a negative, enviable way, but just it's like, oh, they've changed, they've evolved, they've moved on. Like there's so many beautiful aspects about this Nine of Pentacles that I'm feeling. There's just feeling about you looking beautiful. It's like you've worked on yourself. Maybe you've been going to the gym. Maybe you've been really working on your career. Maybe you have a beautiful family. And all of these things are going to come out during these conversations about, oh, this is where you're at in life. This is where I'm at in life right now. And there's a certain amount of serendipity surrounding this. Like it feels like because of the location that the two of you run into each other, it feels meant to be. Because otherwise, how is it that the two of you would run into each other in this environment? Like that's how it feels. And it comes to this point of being able to maybe realize a few things, like there's epiphanies, there's truth, and there's a revelation as well for the person coming or on your mind that they can't really go back to yesterday. That there's a shift in you, there's a change in you, they can see it, they can sense it with your presence. It's like there's just something more empowered in your position or in your demeanor that makes them realize I may not be able to go back. And I'm also very, I don't want to keep using the word enviable, because that's not what I'm feeling. It's almost like, it's like a respecting, adoring type of energy. It's like, I respect where you're at. Whoever is with you is the luckiest person in the world. Like there's that type of energy that I'm feeling from this interaction. I want to pull a card regarding this Five of Pentacles. I feel like somebody will have suddenly moved like positions or homes or something right prior to this situation. And it's like a level up, whatever it is, the career, the home, it's a level up for you. I feel like, to be honest, it's a sad message, but I feel like you're going to also talk about making plans to talk again, and that may not happen. Like, you know, we run into somebody from the past, or we run into somebody who's important to us, and we're like, oh yeah, we should get together, we should make plans, we should do this, but that may not actually come to pass. Because we also have the death energy here too. And there's something and I feel like there is something very serendipitous about the event. It gives the opportunity for this connection to have these revelations about advancement and to be able to perhaps close out the cycle. And at the end of this exchange, there is a level of peace and clarity that I do feel. Like I feel like the two of you ended on a very high note. I don't necessarily think that there's going to be, I think there could be some flirty interaction, but I don't think there's going to be anything inappropriate or anything that crosses any type of line. I will say that this person is going to think about this, and I feel like you will too, especially if you're a Virgo energy. You're going to be thinking about this moment, this day a lot. Like you're going to just be thinking about it a lot after the fact. It gives us a lot to think about, but I also love that this card is surrounded by all of these purple flowers. For me, purple is a really strong energy of empowerment and freedom and leveling up. So there's something kind of resting or a healing aspect. It's like we give ourselves the permission to lovingly release each other, and it initiates a new process, because we're starting with this Ace of Swords supporting the moon, and there's revelations, there's things that are going to be revealed to us, which is going to kind of earmark or bookmark, I should say, a change of seasons for you. It's like a transition into the unknown, moving into the unknown without the burden of the unknown of this connection on our shoulders, which is kind of nice. And there's going to be a communication because we're going to be gathering some more information. Ace of Pentacles. For some, this might come in within the next year, Spirit is saying as well. And there is a beautiful message about it might even be a brief interchange. It may not be a very lengthy interchange coming in, but there's this beautiful message about somebody who's finally being able to look outside the box, because they're focusing me on the bamboo and how it's like we focus on bamboo, but once we are stepping outside of that forest, we can try all sorts of different vegetables and thrive on them. So there's a message surrounding that, and how the time passes very quickly when the two of you are communicating with each other. What happen the next time you see each other when you meet again? Pile number 2. We have here letting go, 35. And I keep hearing that old country music song that says, it ain't easy letting go. It's never easy letting go. But there's something almost bittersweet about the whole exchange. It helps to redirect our focus to healing. It helps us to give us a new opportunity for growth. Like it's a positive turn of events. The suddenness of this tower is surprising, but oftentimes the tower comes in when we require that shift and change, when we need to continue on our path towards abundance. And this may be the sort of the final step to being able to close out some type of cycle. She's holding on to a bunch of leaves in the autumn. And there's an aspect about so much change coming in, especially for the Divine Feminine. There's change. 12, surrender. Surrendering to change. Changing directions as well with the Dragonfly Spirit. Recognizing that someone in this connection is so hungry for their success that they haven't stopped. And that's a bittersweet aspect to the person that you're going to be talking to or meeting with, because there is a message of sadness that says that they wish that you would pine for them a little bit more, but it's very apparent in this meeting that you have evolved, that you let nothing hold you back, and that you perhaps, again, are on the way, or you are working towards, or you're already sitting in so much abundance. We have toadstools of growth, and there's an emphasis on the toadstool here with the Hermit too. It's like this is a meeting that's long in the waiting, or long in the making, I should say. There's a beautiful aspect of temperance and bringing everything back into balance as well with this opportunity. We have here, I love you. These are powerful words. And I feel like, to be honest with you, there may not be that expression of love 100%. It may be a little bit under the surface, or just kind of in a quiet understanding. Because the harp, I always think about being in the left breast pocket where the heart space lies. And simple acts of kindness. Kindness energizes you and brings happiness to those around you. And we have spiritual connection, a relationship that has a connection that goes beyond this lifetime. And that's something that can't be broken, even with this aspect of letting go. There's a beautiful recognition of, that we'll always be special to each other, but that we have to continue moving forward. So you will meet again, and there will be a beautiful exchange. The opportunity for a beautiful exchange and a vulnerable exchange. We have the Queen of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, the 7 of Cups, and the Ace of Pentacles. They're talking about this opportunity to clear out the confusion and this former version of ourselves that we have attached to this connection. If the Queen of Cups here has her heart space set upon something, she has a deep love that will probably always exist for this person, which is beautiful. But there's also some confusion about some of the monopoly of her focus towards that arena, and this gives you the chance to perhaps clear out some of that focus. It's going to feel maybe like you conjured it up, because there's this emphasis on the fantasy of this day. We have the Divine Feminine Stiletto Heel, sitting in a beautiful position of authority, the Sun rune. We also have the Divine Masculine with the Yin Yang here. We have the World, talking about unfinished cycles, the letter A, and the Strength rune, powerfully overcoming the forces against you. We also have claiming your independence with the Leo energy and the Kitty Cat. All right, pile number 2, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates with you. If it does, drop your comment below for a chance to win a free reading with me. Be sure to hit your notification bell. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personal reading as well. But I hope that you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Hello, pile 3, you were drawn to the yellow flower, or to the Can You Hear Me card, and this is your reading. Will you meet again? And if you do, what is going to happen? The Can You Hear Me card, you can see she has her bottom half as a shell, and we can't see the contents of that curled shell. I always think of the High Priestess, and she has her hand on her hip. She has this bugle horn in her arm, and she could sound it if she wanted to make an announcement of her desires, but she holds it at her side, and she has her hand on her hip like she's waiting to hear from somebody. It says, can you hear me? It's like, can you feel my energy? Can you feel the secret wisdom codes that I put below the surface of this water? So there's an emphasis of you waiting for this day, waiting for this moment, perhaps if you're the Divine Feminine, or in contrast, this person waiting to hear from you. It's like both of you with your hands on your hips waiting to hear from the other person when there is freedom for us to pick up that bugle and make a call. So let's take a look at your cards. We're going to use the Golden Girls Tarot for you today. Will pile number 3 meet again with the person on their mind? And if so, what is going to happen? There's an emphasis on the yellow right now. They're really emphasizing the lower chakra systems, and they're emphasizing a fear. Ace of Pentacles. We have the 10 of Swords. King of Wands. Will you meet again? Pile number 3. The Emperor. Really strong fire element here. Leo, Aries specifically, Sagittarius. Taurus as well. We have the Hierophant. Back of the deck is the 9 of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. Whoopsie. Here we go. Let's clarify this message. Clarifying the Ace of Pentacles. Will they meet again? And what will happen if they do? The Knight of Wands. The 5 of Pentacles. The Justice. The 2 of Cups. We have the Empress. Back of the deck is the 8 of Wands. And we do have the Queen of Pentacles for a second time. An emphasis here on Taurus energy for the Queen of Pentacles, actually. There is a message coming through here about the Divine Masculine perhaps being in a relationship, or maybe that's what's making them create this passive approach towards you. I do feel like there is going to be a very passive approach towards resolutions here, or towards an actual meeting. It doesn't feel like it's going to happen just suddenly out of the blue. It doesn't happen like it doesn't feel like you're going to cross paths. I feel a lot of resistance towards seeing each other again. And it's not that you don't want to see each other again, because I feel like you absolutely do. There's a certain amount of pressure that I feel like we're all feeling in this independent journey. It's like everybody standing there with their hand on their hip, waiting for the other person to act. And this Divine Masculine is waiting, and the Divine Feminine is waiting. And both of these passive approaches are speaking that passive display of separation to the universe. That's what they are communicating to the universe in those delays that we want to keep experiencing, is more delay. I do feel like there is a period that's going to continue of separation until somebody takes action upon an opportunity. It's like we create and we are the opportunity. We have to be the momentum, the force that acts upon our own energy to get us in motion sometimes to see any progress. So I do feel an emphasis on taking action in order to create the solutions or to create the opportunity. Because if we keep applying the exact same force or focus, which could be none at all in this moment, except to apply a force of expectation on the other, we may not get what we want. We may not get the desires of our heart here. With this 5 of Pentacles, we're both using a specific idea or preconceived notion about what we're capable of doing, and you're both holding the same mirrored image of, you know, I can't, it's impossible, it's too hard, there's too many challenges, something's anchoring me, using these excuses as a crutch. And so ultimately that's the cause and effect of our actions. Our empowerment is only empowerment if we are empowering ourselves. And so the Justice says we reap what we sow. In the present moment, if they're being passive, they may continue to be passive. And so as we move into the Hierophant energy in the future of your position, this is the crossroads, this is the ascension, this is the two of you coming towards each other in ascension, but it's like somebody has to take that leap through the doorway. Somebody has to lead by example. They are, and I hate to say it, but they are emphasizing the Divine Feminine here. And not necessarily in a way of saying you have to act, but just saying that in order for us to rage against some of the emotional turmoil that this weight creates, we may want to just maintain an independent journey. We may want to focus on the independent journey and not put our eggs in that basket of outcomes ultimately. The Nine of Pentacles, the Eight of Wands, they say there is a pressure that's building, that's mounting for the Divine Feminine to take a stand in some way. They say that if we want to empower ourselves, we may have to leap into action on our own. But I'm also getting this impression of like, well, I'm this Empress, and if I'm this Empress, I don't chase, I attract every good thing. And so there is a bit of a resistance even coming in that aspect. But they're saying the Divine Masculine is too afraid. We have the Eight of Pentacles. We also have that King of Wands again on the back of the deck, a huge fire aspect for the Divine Masculine. They are saying that it's going to take work. I just heard that Rihanna song, work, 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 work. It's like somebody has to go to work. Somebody has to gain mastery over this hurdle. It's like we're clearing out the boulders away from the doorway. So it's not naturally going to happen, but for some watching, I do feel like somebody's going to take action to create the opportunity, to create more conversation. It may not come in the form of physically meeting, but it's going to create a conversation. And that's not a guarantee for everyone watching in the collective. This is specific energy for people who feel inspired by the lack of momentum that they see. We have the Seven of Pentacles. We also have the High Priestess here with the Hanged Man. So there's an acknowledgement from our higher self that if we were honest with ourselves about what type of strength or force we're applying here, that we might have to surrender to the stagnation in this present moment. They're asking us to be thoughtful and to meditate upon what actions we could take if we feel like we can take them. They're also talking here about maybe investments being in the way, or patience being a virtue. It's like they're talking about having to be patient if we want to reap anything, but also cultivating. She's planting a seed. She's not just waiting for the garden to harvest. She's actually tending the garden and planting the seed. And so sometimes this card is called the impatience card, because we will definitely be impatient if we keep waiting for things to come for us, unless we decide to be the change and keep ourselves busy with planting new intentions. Your higher self is also encouraging us to embrace the messages and the prompts that come in from our highest version and from our guides, which will sometimes prompt us to do scary things and to step outside of our comfort zone. We have here renewal, the frog. And she's staring into the pool, and she is a fairy. And I always think about things that are beyond our grasp, or things that we're not sure are true or real. It's like this aspect of us telling ourselves, well, maybe it's one-sided. And you both do that. And that, in essence, is just you trying to give yourselves permission to procrastinate a little bit more. So the Judgment is asking us to reflect upon our power, trusting our intuition specifically, because the little frog has a crown on. And when we trust our intuition, we are aligning ourselves with that highest version. So they want us to spend some time reflecting upon what's happening, the imbalances, and how can we correct them. When we are asked to perform the judgment, we're not being asked to judge any other person other than our own experience. And we have here manifesting dreams. And we have stability here as well on the back of the deck. Now, the manifesting dreams is about trying to put into action everything that we want here. And this is what we're going to have to implement if we want to see some shifts and changes in your connection in the future. There is work to be done. There is mastery. There is effort that we're going to have to put into manifesting this opportunity. But the good news is that a wish is only a wish until we apply a force, a practical force towards it. Pile number 3, please. Will they meet again? What will happen if they do? Rest and relaxation are essential. We all have a fundamental need to take a break. And that is what they're encouraging us to do, to take some time to renew, to reflect. And they are indicating that there's, again, a delay before we see any type of momentum, before we see you taking action or we see any type of momentum. We have be supportive, make a genuine effort to show that you care. And that is advice coming in from your guides, being authentic, being vulnerable, being real and true to who you are and how you feel, and expressing that truth to others may be a way to create more momentum here in the future of this connection, which could lead to further opportunity. They're even emphasizing that pressure, that momentum that's coming as in the form of prompts from your higher self that could be encouraging you to communicate, to take action. We have the 8 of Cups, the Star, Aquarius energy, the 6 of Swords. There's a lot of unfinished business here, a lot of conversations that haven't been had that need to happen. It's like we need closure. It's like we need this conversation for closure. And that could be how you're feeling about the situation through this separation is I need one conversation just to close out the cycle. And we may be, again, waiting and waiting and waiting for that to happen so we can feel empowered, waiting for this person to give us the closure. But I think they're doing the exact same thing. I think that they're waiting for you to give them the closure. And so it looks like an upside down T, like a Temperance in reverse and feeling stuck in a cycle. And that's why Spirit has had the advice and messages that they've had today. About nothing changes if nothing changes. We have BB and X. We also have here 2 people on healing journeys, 2 divine feminine energies, perhaps healing back to wholeness. And that's the beautiful message about the closure aspect, is that we don't actually need each other for closure. We just need to be able to give ourselves permission for that. We have temptation with the Mermaid and trusting in our higher self with the crescent moon to guide us, being an open book. And there's a deep thirst here between the 2 of you. We also have here, and there's stamina, like endurance. I just saw like the cactus like filled with water. So there's endurance and lots of emotion too. And then we have the forget-me-not. Pile number 3, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates with you. If it does, drop your comment below for a chance to win a free reading with me. Be sure to hit your notification bell so that I can notify you if you're chosen the winner. Also, be sure to protect yourselves in the comment section here on YouTube and on Instagram. All of my links are listed below. I do not solicit readings, so please protect yourself from scammers. But I hope that you have a beautiful day, and I hope that you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage.